Hello Charles in Aptos, California. Matthew here with freeprescriptionlenses.com, and I'm going to show you how I cut some really cool lenses tonight for what on earth could this be? What could come inside of this little tiny case? There's only a few RayBans, the folding Wayfarer and the folding Clubmasters. And of course I have to use the sound effects when opening these up. Okay, now it's time to be professional. I'm glad someone's professional. By the way, the guy Charles here, got a chance to talk to him. Great lawyer. Anyone who's out in the just south of San Jose near Gilroy, California, which happens to be the garlic capital of the world, does a little bit of labor law, and he'd be glad to take care of you because for him it's a labor of love. It's really nice being able to talk to someone before making their glasses. And he says, enough talking, time to work. Okay, so this is your frames. These are, again, the RayBan 2176, size 51, and they are the color 901, the matte black. So let's begin. I'm going to take out the original demo lenses, of which I will need a small Phillips head screwdriver. I'm going to put it in and do lefty-loosey until I can take the lens out. I do not want to take it out all the way if I can help it, because there we go. Should I drop this screw? You see me working with so many plastic frames. It's always a nightmare to do that. So I always make sure to hold the frame like this so the screw does not fall out. Okay, let's do the same thing on the other side. Lefty-loosey until I can get the original glass lens out. Come on, there you go, there you go. And now back to righty-tighty. Okay, I'm going to put the frame into the tracing element of my edger and hit start, the little green arrow. Everybody wants to know, how does the computer know what shape lens to cut? This is why. This little stylus pops up and it's going to go around and trace the shape of the right lens before doing the same thing for the left. Here at freeprescriptionlenses.com, where everyone loves a bargain and no one is disappointed in quality. You buy a genuine, authentic RayBan frame, and you will receive one free pair of clear single vision prescription lenses or non-prescription fashion lenses. My receipt has my federal ID tax number, so if you have vision insurance or flex dollars, it doesn't matter whether you need prescription or not, you will get reimbursed for this purchase. Charles, you know you need prescription, so that boat has sailed for you, but you can still write these off on your taxes and insurance. So in just a moment, the shape will pull up onto the computer. Come on, moment, your moment is up. The time is now. Okay, there we go. That is the shape I will cut, only magnified. Let me minify it down to actual size. And that is the shape of the lens we are going to cut, but I'm going to go ahead and magnify it again while I am working on it. The pupillary distance is 34 for each eye. The computer starts at 32.5. So I'm going to hit this little plus sign. It's going to go up in 0.5 millimeter increments until I get to 34. I want to put the optical center in this frame. I'm going to raise it up to 25. So again, it's going to go up in 0.5 millimeter increments. 23, 23.5, 24, 24.5. Do I hear 25? Sold. So let's come down here. And for the sake of time, I've already got your lenses prepped. I have the optical center identified on there. And I'm going to put that. Now this blue cross is the geometric center of your frame. Just like the crosshairs of a scope, if I were to measure vertically and horizontally, that is the dead center of your frame, but your eye is going to go just above that based on your pupillary distance and the optical centers. Oh, I'm getting ahead of myself. This is what I need. This is a block. I need to attach this to your lens while it is cutting. So I need a double-sided adhesive sticker, which I have two up here. The black side is the sticky side. I'm going to stick that onto the first block and place that onto the platform. Do the same thing now for the second block. Pull the paper away to make the black side sticky. Now on the back side is that little silver button is a magnet. It's going to do its job twice tonight. The first time it's going to hold it in place inside the magnet in the arm. This is the arm. And so I get everything lined up just right. And come on now. Hit the button. The arm's going to come down and place the block onto the right lens. And we're going to do the same thing now for the left lens. We're going to pull the paper away to make the black side sticky. Put the block into the arm there. Now the left eye is mirrored from the right, 34 millimeters pupillary distance and 25 millimeters for the height. Get everything lined up just right. Hit the button. Now the block's going to come down, or the arm's going to come down and place the block onto the left lens. So we're going to come back down here. Now this is the edger. This is what costs $40,000. It weighs 200 pounds. I recommend everyone go out and buy their own. Then you can cut your own lenses at home. You won't need this guy anymore, and I can take the night off. So the actual cutting wheel is over here on the far right. It's going to act like a heavy grit sandpaper to grind away your lens material until it's the final size. This wheel in the center that has that channel, that little valley on there, that's what's going to put the V-shaped bevel onto the lens so it stays inside the bevel of the frame. So now the magnet is going to do its job the second time tonight. It's going to hold it in place into the chuck, or as I like to call it, the Charles, because I don't know the machine well enough to call it chuck. I'm going to wake up the computer to let it know this is the shape we will be cutting. Now these are polycarbonate lenses. If they were plastic, high index plastic or Trivex, I would select that, but we're going to stay on polycarbonate. I do not want to polish the edge of your lenses. I do not want to put a bevel on the front surface, the convex surface of the lens. I only want to put a safety bevel on the rear concave surface of the lens. And that concludes your vocabulary lesson of the day. So I'm going to hit the green start button. The door closes, the clamp shuts. And in a moment you'll see the lens go up, and it's going to be traced by two white styluses, making sure that the lens is large enough to fit into the frame. You can see as it's going around tracing the shape. And the old carpenter saying measure twice, cut once is measuring the thickness of the lens at every point to know exactly and precisely where to place the bevel so you have the least amount of edge thickness showing. Now in just a moment your lens is going to drop down onto the cutting wheel. Now if you see light flickering in the background, that is water. Your lenses are made out of polycarbonate. Polycarbonate cuts dry, where plastic, high index plastic, and Trivex cut wet. Water would be splashing on the lens if it was one of those materials. But since it is not, the water is only there to catch the optical sawdust as it comes off the back of the lens. So your lens has begun cutting. Now your lenses have you paid for the upgrade to the transitions and the Crizal anti-glare. Now let me grab a lens without it. Now your lenses, let me back up a little bit. Your lenses are made out of polycarb, which is 40% thinner and lighter than regular plastic. They are virtually unbreakable. Your lenses are bulletproof up to 22 caliber and have both UVA and UVB protection built into the lens. We know what the sun's harmful ultraviolet rays can do to your skin, where your eyes are 8 times more sensitive than your skin. So you have permanent sunscreen for your eyes, unlike lotions, creams, and sprays that need to be reapplied every couple hours as you're in direct exposure to the sun, which you get there in Aptos, California. This is permanent and will never need to be reapplied. Now, I'll demonstrate the transitions later, but the anti-glare that you got, the Crizal, is 3 features in one. The first feature is it eliminates glare, especially when driving at night. But it also eliminates glare from stoplights, street lights, computer screens, overhead fluorescent lights. Now the second feature is it's a reflection-free lens, so a lot of times it goes by the abbreviation ARC, anti-reflective coating. I'm going to grab a lens here that does not have the coating on there, and you can see that it eliminates the reflection from the overhead light. So when someone's looking at you, they're not looking at their reflection in your glasses. It makes for much better eye contact. Now, the other nice cosmetic quality, if someone takes a picture with a flash, or if you take a selfie, you don't see the flash lit up in the picture, you see just your eyes. Now the third feature that I like, which is the practical side, is that the machine that applies the Crizal anti-glare costs well over $1 million. Okay, you see water has begun spraying on the lens. It does that for the last 20 seconds of the cutting cycle just to wash away any optical debris. And if you notice, your lens is now getting the safety bevel applied to it. Well, I'm sorry, the bevel. Now the safety bevel will come. This little lever comes out. At the end of that lever is a spinning wheel. And that's what's going to apply the safety bevel to the rear concave side of the lens. But as I was saying, the Crizal machine costs well over $1 million. It takes over 24 hours to vaporize 7 different coatings onto your lens. So you have 7 layers of a hydrophobic coating that is Crizal. So because of the time and the expense, they put the hardest scratch coating in the business onto that lens. Now I open this door with my mind. You like that? I can do other things with my mind. I can melt ice with my mind. I can. It just takes me a couple hours, but I can do it. Okay. I'm going to use my thumbnail to wipe away any optical debris that may be there. Can you see that? That is called Schwarf. May the Schwarf be with you, but it's not. I'm not going to let it be with you. I'm going to clean it off so it won't be on your lens. Now if you notice, yes, I am dropping that onto the floor, but that's because kids, I went to school for years to learn how to make a mess. So kids, if you want to grow up and make a mess, you gotta stay in school. So, get back to the lefty loosey. I am going to loosen up. And Charles, the nice thing about this, in the future, should you ever need just lenses for this frame, I can send them right to your home. What you're going to need to do, of course, you're going to need a small Phillips head screwdriver. And I recommend you get a baking dish like this or some other big pan. Either get a paper towel to line in there or a t-shirt, something soft, because should you drop the screw, if it comes out and bounces, it gets on the floor, that's no bueno. And I can translate that for you if you have no idea what that means. It means it's a no good. So again, lefty loosey, and you do not have to take the screw out all the way. And again, I like to hold the frame upside down so the screw does not fall out and give it a chance to bounce. Because your lenses are unbreakable, all you would have to do is loosen it a little bit. Take the right lens, and of course I always mark which lens is right and left, and tuck it in until it snaps, and then just righty-tighty. And you never have to worry about losing the screw. You see me cutting so many plastic lenses like this that have no screws to come loose. So I'm going to go ahead and take this block off. It is no longer needed, and we're going to go ahead and start cutting the L lens, which is the not right lens. We're going to hit that L button. I still don't know what L means, but someone tells me it just means not right. Like me, I ain't right. So push that on there firm. Hit the green start button. Just like before, the door closes, the clamp will shut, and the lens is going to be traced by the 2 white styluses going around. You can see as it's measuring the shape of the lens now. And again, the old carpenter saying measure twice, cut once. It's measuring the thickness of the lens at every point to know exactly and precisely where to place the bevel, so you have the least amount of edge thickness showing, of which you have none in this frame. So now that's done, I'm going to come down here as the left lens is cutting. I want to verify the prescription of the right lens. I'm going to put it in just above the red dot. Let me darken that red dot so you can follow at home. And if you miss any of that, let me recap. Oh, it's a bad joke, but you'll be telling it tomorrow. So I'm going to put that in there. I'm going to spin the axis wheel to 30, and I'll explain why in a moment. Checking the power, and I'm getting minus 375, 1 tick mark away from 4. 3, 3 1/4, 350, 375, 4. Do I hear 5? No, I'm not an auctioneer. So the unit of measurement we use in the optical world is called a diopter, spelled D-I-O-P-T-E-R. It starts at 0, which we in the business call Plano, which people in Texas call a city, and goes up from there in quarter increments, 0.25, 0.50, 0.75, 1, and so on till we get to minus 375. So you need 15 steps of correction for your farsightedness. You are nearsighted. Without your glasses on, you can see up close pretty well, but you need them for far away. So we're at minus 375. Now you have 2 steps of astigmatism correction. Now there is a stigma over the word astigmatism. It just means shape. Everyone freaks out when they hear that word. It is not a disease. It is not an affliction. This first number makes everything the correct size, because without your glasses on, everything is actually much too large. So when you put your glasses on, they will minify, hence the minus sign. Your lenses will minify. And then once it's the right size, we need to take away the fuzzy edges. That's what astigmatism does. It makes 6s and 8s look alike, or the letters P and F. So think of it as the fine-tune knob. And we're going to turn that fine-tune knob to 30, but let's check the actual power. You have 2 steps of astigmatism correction, and we end up with minus 4 1/4. Why that? Because if someone had borrowed $3.75 from you and then they borrowed another 50 cents, it would be $4.25 in the red. 425 in the red. Bet on the red. So I mentioned we're going to turn that fine tune knob to 30 if a straight line is 0 to 180. 0 at the tip of my pen, 90 in the center, 180 on this side. We're going to turn that knob to about 30. Now your left eye, same amount of power, minus 375, same amount of astigmatism, but we're going to turn that fine tune knob to 164. So we're going to go all the way over here and stop just before we get to the 180 line. You would think that 30 and 164 are very far from each other. They are not. You are 30 degrees away from the 180 on this side. You are 16 degrees away from the 180 on this side. So you're actually only, let me say that, 14, 164, yeah, you're only 14 degrees apart. You're just at different ends on how you got there, but you're still 14 degrees away from horizon. So, let's come down here. Now Charles, I want you to open the door this time with your mind. Well played, sir. First day on the job and you're already using your telekinesis well. Now, everyone out there who believes in telekinesis, raise my hand. Man, it really works. Okay, look at that, look at that, look at all that. So what I'm going to do, can you see all this? This is the optical sawdust, the Schwarf. I'm going to use my thumbnail to go all the way around your frame, all the way around your lens, and remove that. And I'm going to carefully, very neatly, collect it into one pile and then wipe it on the floor. Why do I do that? Because if the floor is dirty, when people come over, they think I've been working. So that tricks people into thinking that I've really actually been working. So everyone at home, make a mess. People won't think you're lazy. Yeah, that's how it works. That's exactly how it works. So again, lefty-loosey, keep the frame like this. Tuck the lens in at the outside corner. Then using your thumbs, press down at the nose. It snaps in easily. Righty-tighty. I'm not sure what country, how they say that. They certainly don't do it around China in these parts. Here in Dirty D, Durham, North Carolina. So we're going to come back down here. That is how they say that here. We're going to turn that fine tune knob to 164. 164, it's on here somewhere. There it is. One tick mark away from 165. It's dark in that red dot so you can follow it home. We're going to put it in and read right above that red dot. What do you know? We're getting 375. Did I mention the prescription your left eye was 375? Now you have 2 steps of astigmatism fine-tune correction. Now what that means is your eye is not completely round. It means that it's bulging in the middle. No, so bulging like a football, like a Raiders football. We talked, he's a big Raiders fan from back in the day. I happen to like a better team, the team known as the Steelers, which both teams this year are just horrible. Even my Carolina Panthers lost. So let me propose a toast that the Steelers and the Raiders do better next year. All right, let me put my coffee cup back so I can use it tomorrow. Always brighter days ahead tomorrow. So, okay, but what I was saying, minus 375, you have one curvature on your eye going this way, which measures 3.75 diopters, 15 steps of correction. And then you have another one that is slightly steeper, which ends up being another 2 degrees this way. And that's how we line up everything to get that 164. And that's how it makes everything clear for you. So let me check your astigmatism correction, of which we have 2 steps, minus 4 1/4. Wow, I could not have done this any better if I had done it myself. So your pupillary distance, 34 in your right eye, 34 in your left, for a total of 68. I'm going to turn the card around, and when I place my PD stick, I'm going to place a 0 against my thumb on your right lens, and when we hold it up to the left, we are getting 68 millimeters, so that is cut perfectly. I want to check the optical centers of your lens, which is 25 millimeters above the bottom of the frame, and when we look, do you need a background for that? Do we need a background? We're getting 25 millimeters. That is made perfectly as well. Man, the kit is good. No one will ever know this is my first day on the job. However, I did stay at a Holiday Inn Express last night, so. Okay, hey, you know what? They need to pay me to say stuff like that. All right, back to work. So this is the point of time that in every video I explain that when you get these in the mail, Charles, there's a small chance that these could fit too loose or too tight. However, there is an 80% chance that one side is going to sit higher than the other. That is because 80% of people have one ear that's higher than the other. And because of that, 99% of all optical shops will do free adjustments if you ask them. It only takes about 30 seconds to adjust a pair of glasses. But I'm going to get these in standard alignment for you, so just stop by your local shop should you need these adjusted at all. But standard alignment, also known as a 3-point stance, that is not a football stance. That is referring to 1, 2, and the bottom of the frame being 3. I set them on the counter and press down. There is no wobble. When I say wobble, when I take mine off, mine wobble on the counter, but they sit level on me. I'm part of that 80%. Those of you keeping score at home, tonight I am wearing the Versace 3199 in color 5118, which is blue and tortoise. All right, let me put mine back on so I can see what I'm doing, yo. So I'm going to flip them over and make sure there's no wobble. Close each temple. Make sure the temples are overlapping perfectly and they're not askew like that. Now, this is what your lenses look like clear. I'm going to activate them in just a moment in my little transition unit and make them turn dark for the first time. Now, not only do you get a cleaning cloth with the purchase of a RayBan frame inside there, but I'm going to give you one of my own cleaning cloth, my premium microfiber cloth, and you get one from Crizal as well, so you're going to get plenty. You can keep one in the car, one at home, one at the office, one in the briefcase, whatever you like. Wait, does that make 5 or 6? Anyway, I didn't know there was going to be so much math involved. But I'm going to clean your lenses first because I field test every cleaning cloth to make sure it works before I send it to you. I don't know why I think that's so funny that I take your brand new cloth and use it to clean your lenses. But I just don't want to send out a defective cloth. That's how bad internet reviews happen. So, yeah, it looks like it cleans it. Does that look like it cleans it? Let me spit on it too. Patooey! Okay, yeah, now it's clean. So, this is what they look like while they are clear. See how your lenses minify? Think that's pretty cool, huh? Do you? I can do that all day. Okay, so we're going to come down here. We're going to put them in my little transitions box in the corner, which just has a strong UV light in it. And as you will see, it takes about 30 to 45 seconds for transition lenses to darken when you go outside. It takes a little bit longer when you come back inside, about 45 seconds to a minute 15 to return back to virtually clear. Now, Charles, this is important. Pay attention. All transition lenses will turn dark on day 1. Give them 2 weeks of exposure to the sun, and they're going to continue to darken over that first 2 weeks until they reach their final setting. After that, they will work for years with maximum performance. The only time they won't work is if you're behind the windshield of a car. Your windshield has UV protection so your upholstery doesn't rot and your dashboard doesn't crack from sitting in the sun, and that's why they won't turn dark in a car. Now, if you have a convertible or a motorcycle, yes, they will darken. You have to have direct exposure to the sun. Also, to note, they are temperature sensitive, meaning they will get darker when it's 85 degrees than they will when it's 95 and above. But I remind everyone, when it's triple digits outside, you're miserable, they're miserable. Everyone's miserable when it's 100 degrees. So these are the Transitions Gray. And don't worry, Charles, they will continue to darken. Come on, we talked about this, don't you remember? But if anyone has any questions, just email me at freeprescriptionlenses@gmail.com or simply click the Contact Me button on the website. And Charles in Aptos, California, I hope you enjoyed watching as I cut transition lenses for your new RayBan 2176 color 901, which is the matte black and the 51 eye size. Now, this frame does sell for $230, and again, as I mentioned, you will receive 1 free pair of prescription lenses. You paid the $50 upgrade to the Transitions, you paid the $40 upgrade to Crizal lenses, and that is what you paid for. And hopefully you enjoyed watching as I cut the prescription lenses for your folding Clubmasters. Whoopsh, whoopsh. And everyone else has got the chance to see how I bring that love and feeling back to glasses. Thank you.